Hello and welcome back to Anywhere But Here, episode 266. My name is Tom, and I'm being joined on this episode by Joe today because Ant texted me at 9:30 this morning saying that he wasn't feeling very well. Apparently it's not coronavirus, but, you know, who knows what could happen in the next couple of weeks. That's basically what we're going to be talking about on the show today. You can find us at abhpod.com, where somewhere on that page you can scroll down and there'll be an Amazon banner. If you click through that banner, do your shopping as you usually would at amazon.co.uk, and we get 5% of your total basket spend for no extra cost to yourself whatsoever. The other way that you can support us is by becoming a patron. If you sign up at patreon.com for as little as $1 a month, which is not very much, but you could give more if you really wanted to, then yeah, do that. Sign up. You get essentially after the podcasts every time that we record one, which is most episodes, you get videos as and when we put them up. The last few ones we've done have been songs that Ant and I have covered. And you get the spoiler casts on the week that they are recorded rather than waiting for the DVD release when we release them on the main feed. You also get these episodes without this torturous, horrible long intro. So that's really the main benefit of the Patreon. But yeah, go over there and support us that way. You can find us on Twitter at abh.com, at abhpod. You can find us on facebook.com/abh and ABH Pod, and you can find us on youtube.com/ABH Podcast. We also have an email address, which is abhpod@gmail.com, where you can get in touch with us. As I said, Joe joins me on this episode. We talk, of course, about the coronavirus, but also the fact that it was worse once upon a time when you had to live with the fear of dropsy and cut of the stone and gathering in the head. We also talk about ancient ways in which, well, not ancient, old ways in which men got rid of their wives. So yeah, enjoy. So the coronavirus is a thing.
Let's not do that.
What? Why?
Let's make it a C word free zone.
Oh, okay, right. But it's you know, I mean, it's gonna be difficult to do this episode without mentioning it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because it's what's going on, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
And you're looking forward to being self-isolated.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to think about that.
No?
No, not really.
Because you don't want to give yourself false hope.
No, I don't. I think that it's possibly the weirdest, freakiest. It's a double-edged sword, really, because if that happens, if we close for however long, it has horrible repercussions on 300 children.
Right.
And that's 300 children is quite a large number, I realise, but not. I mean, nationally, 420,000 children, and that's just one exam board. And you can't begin to imagine that they're not going to take those exams. But the other side to that is, if you set up a virtual classroom, they'll do fuck all.
Well, they'll have to do something. Although you won't be able to keep eye contact with all of them all at once, will you? Because you'd need like 20 to 30 little screens.
Well, I wouldn't Skype it, that's for sure. No. It would almost be like I don't know how it would work, but everything's going to have to be done from a distance, and with the assumption that they are going to do the work. Tomorrow, I have a plan. I'm going to talk to the ones who this affects the most, and say to them that one thing that I would absolutely hate having to do is giving them a teacher assessed grade that becomes their GCSE, because none of them in the room would then be able to say, I did that under timed conditions, I did that, and that was real.
Yeah.
And that's the sad bit. And as much as you'd like to throw them all, it will have the best possible grade then. It's not, I wouldn't be able to prove that.
Sure.
I would have to go on what I've got. So that's the other thing.
Yeah.
I want them to go out there. I want them to go out there and go, right, I've worked for this. Here it is. I'd be really fucked off. It's like my friend, he's training for the London Marathon, which has now been moved to October. And this is why I don't race. I run because it makes me feel, well, it doesn't make me feel good today. I feel like shit. But on the whole, it's a good feeling. But when you set your training, your entire life on a build-up to an event, and then to be told it's been postponed, really does shag up your body.
Well, yeah, I suppose, because like for people who are, I suppose it's the same for Olympians as well, isn't it? Because obviously the Olympics is being called into question just like every other sporting event. It's like these people, literally their entire life is focused on one event that happens every 4 years.
Although the Japanese chief bloke, is he a president or a prime minister?
There's
I don't know.
A prime minister and there's an emperor, so
well,
probably the
prime minister has said it's going to go ahead without hitch.
Oh, has he?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, he says that now.
Yes, he says that now.
You know, like the Australian Grand Prix was going to go ahead until 2 days before it was due to take place. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, you're right. Like, people, it's massively affecting everyone in a way that a couple of weeks ago I was like, nah, it's bullshit. Like, people are just massively over dramatizing everything. Like all these fucking people who've gone out and looted toilet rolls.
Well, they're just dicks, aren't they?
It's ridiculous. I just don't. But the thing is, I don't understand where they've got the information from.
The weird thing is, okay, everyone needs to go to the toilet, but and then it comes to a point where if you don't have any food in because you've spent all your money on worrying about bog roll, then there's going to be nothing to shit out in the first place.
And also, how many times do you shit in 2 weeks? Like how many tubes of toilet roll do you get through in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I realise that's a rhetorical question.
Yeah,
I just find it.
It's not an entire trolley's worth, is it?
No.
You know, like people are filling their trolleys with fucking toilet roll.
Pictures from people. I think somebody we know quite well, Charlie, posted made a comment about those people who are now posting pictures of empty empty shelves in a variety of supermarkets to go fuck yourself or something,
because you're pretending to take the moral high ground, but actually you're stoking it yourself.
Toilet roll thieves. eBay doesn't seem to have any ludicrous prices on toilet roll right now. I was expecting to see some, but no. It looks like it's fairly fair game to kind of go there and get an industrial box, and no one's gonna comment on that. If you go via eBay, mail order toilet roll, never heard of that before.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
This lifetime.
Oh dear.
But yes,
people are stupid.
Yes. And I'd understand people going out and buying a shitload of tins.
Yeah.
And
not even like bread and milk, which is the normal thing for snow, because bread and milk goes off relatively quickly. So if you're thinking about, you're not going to be able to go out for 2 weeks or something, then tinned goods and microwave meals or something like that are the obvious things. But yeah, toilet roll, I just don't fucking understand.
No.
At all.
No.
But it does kind of point out how kind of fragile and weak we all actually are. Is that like there's literally nothing anyone can do about this. No. And you're just going to have to sit it out, and if it comes to you, it comes to you. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
And wash your hands
in the meantime. The fact that people are even being told to wash their hands is
Do you know, I was
is an indictment of the kind of society we live in.
I was going to suggest going to the pub later.
Yeah.
And taking our own glasses. Just fill that.
Well, we've got tankards, haven't we? Yeah.
Yes.
Although that doesn't help you with spirit drinking, but
it's fine.
Could have a pint of whatever. Yeah, it's all stupid. But anyway, it's not all doom and gloom.
Is it not?
Well, no.
Well, no, because we could all have the longest holiday of our lives.
Yeah, well, precisely. Yeah, I mean, I think the point that I was trying to make is that you'd quite like a couple of weeks off, wouldn't you?
Always.
You're lucky in that obviously your job you can't really do from home, although there are ways around doing it where it could be done. Whereas I would have to work from home.
Yeah, I think this week
but
it's going to be very telling.
Yeah.
In terms of what we upload.
Yeah.
And give access to the students and and then what we do in the interim. I mean, I've got colouring planned and gardening and clearing out a cupboard. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how long that's going to take, but that's
You'll probably
what
get
I've got
all
planned.
That done in the first day, knowing
I've got
you.
that planned. Yes, learning a few more songs.
Yeah. Get the guitar out.
Yeah, running a bit more because outside is okay apparently.
Until they put like curfews on people's movements and stuff, like they've done in Italy.
Well, that's not happening.
No, I don't think so. But it will. I always tend to get more work done when I'm working from here anyway, rather than at work, because there aren't as many phone calls. There aren't people from the sales department coming over and interrupting me. There's no meetings. It's all very kind of straightforward.
Happy days.
So yeah, I'm thinking about taking my laptop in tomorrow so that I can get all the necessary licenses and things just as a kind of precaution.
Very wise.
They have said that we should probably start doing that. So,
oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
Good,
it went out on
good.
an email like at the beginning of last week, I think.
Right.
So yeah. So, but equally, coronavirus really, when you think about it, it is just the flu. It just doesn't have a cure. There's nothing particularly horrific about it.
Well, technically, neither does flu.
No, no, but there are ways of kind of dampening the effects, aren't there? I think you can take things like paracetamol and ibuprofen and things like that, and it will stem the effects.
True.
Face ache tablets.
They're really good.
Anti-inflammatories. But yeah, apparently all these things don't actually work on this particular strain, and that's the reason that people are freaked out about it.
Yes. It says a lot about their own health, and I think that's what's going on. It's like a sort of internal view of their own working organs, and people need to trust their body more. I mean, the cavemen, how would they have coped with COVID-19?
Well, they
wouldn't have. They would have just got on with it and just probably ate more red meat. Well,
no, they wouldn't, because they'd all be ill and they wouldn't be able to get up.
They would have had to have gone out and done it because no one else was going to do it, weren't they?
Well, this is it, isn't it? I mean, it's like anything.
Put some bloody clothes on. Okay, I'll just skin this mammoth then.
Because, it was so easy to skin a mammoth.
Hurry up! I can't. Going as fast as I can.
I know that we're in the very privileged position of being able to A, do our job from home, or B, be paid not to go to work. And that, as well, we're not massively in a vulnerable group. We're not too young or too old, or neither of us have particularly respiratory problems. Your asthma's cleared up quite well, but that never really affected your being able to combat colds and stuff. I get a lot of colds, and I get the occasional flu as well. So, like, if out of either of us, I feel like I'm the more susceptible to it. But yeah, I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to ride it out.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
We'll just have to see, won't we?
Yeah.
When the COVID comes knocking on the door.
Well, this is it. I've had
anyone in?
One person from my building has gone home last week, because someone they live with has got it, which has meant that they've closed the canteen in my office for like a week.
Yeah, brilliant.
Which I don't really understand.
That will be as of 2 weeks, as of tomorrow.
Yeah, but it's not a member of staff from the canteen. So they say anyway.
Is it the hub? Is it the gathering spot?
Well, yeah, it is.
There you go.
So
then.
that, I mean, yeah, I do get it really.
But otherwise, you're just largely a bunch of antisocial people, aren't you?
Yeah, we sit at our desks and we kind of just get on with
so
stuff.
So you are complying to the radius.
What's the it's minimal
2 meter radius.
Yeah.
You're complying to that health and safety rule. And have been for the last 4 years. 4
or 5 years, yeah.
Well done.
So yeah, I'm not changing any of my habits. But yeah, I mean, it could have been worse. We could have been living hundreds of years ago. I saw on Twitter the other day that Adrian Edmondson put out a list of things that people died of in 1632.
Oh yes, let's hear this.
There's some interesting ones on here. There's stuff that I don't really understand.
Okay.
What they mean.
We'll put some of them out there and we can guess. It'll be a game.
Yeah. I mean, so the number of people that died in all, I don't know whether this is just in a specific town or city or whether it can't just be the UK, surely. It might have been.
Well, let's just crack
Population was fewer then. In all, 9,584 people died. 4,994 men. 4,590 women. Of those,
well, that actually statistically, did you say 9,000?
Yeah, 9,584.
Yeah, the population in the UK at around about the 1600s was 2 million.
Oh right, okay, so it could be for the entire UK then, really, in a year.
Yes,
yeah.
I believe it was 2 million.
Okay.
I can check, but go on. Let's just have right. Let's just have you.
But it says that buried out of 9,584 people, 9,535 were buried. So what happened to the others? Scary. So yeah, 445 people died of being abortive and stillborn.
No, actually, yes, it was 1530, 3 million, and by 1600, 4 million.
Right. Okay.
So there you go. Wasn't too far off. So that's not bad.
Yeah. So 445 people died abortive and stillborn.
Oh. Okay.
Not great. One person died affrighted.
Does that mean they were scared to death?
Scared to death. One person.
By who?
Well, that's the mystery, isn't it?
Or what?
1632. It's way
1630s. Well, let's think. 1649 was when Newton had the apple. Maybe in practice with a friend, like 10 years before, some guy had a cannonball. What? Well, hey.
What dropped on his head specifically?
Yeah. In the race to find the rules of gravity.
But didn't the apple fall accidentally? It wasn't.
Well, this is my point. I mean, but that would cause some sort of affrightment, wouldn't it?
Well, I think that would then be listed as cannon fire, surely.
Only if it goes off.
True. Maybe. 628 people aged.
Well, okay, that's fair enough.
43 people ague. Ague.
Yeah, so like a malady.
Right.
Shakespeare uses it in a number of his plays.
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
Lear is suffering from an ague. It's a fever. It's like yes.
Yeah.
It has a number of interpretations, but it's about pain and.
Yeah. This is probably the first time that you could use one of these as the name of a metal band.
Righto.
Apoplex and Meagrom. 17 people died of apoplex and Meagrom.
Good-o.
Which I think we've tried to figure out is probably migraines.
Maybe.
Or something. Meagrom.
Meagrom.
One person died bit with a mad dog. Bit with a mad dog, not bit by a mad dog. But I assume that's what it actually means.
Yes. It's slightly less... It's more passive, isn't it? To say bit with a dog. As a bit by a dog is very direct.
True. 3 people died of...
What were they doing to the dog in the first place to make the dog bite them? I mean, again, if an animal was going to bite you as a natural defence, it serves you right.
True. Where did it... But I mean, it must have bit them.
Maybe the dog was in the cannonball episode.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe it was there.
The dog dropped the cannonball.
Maybe the dog dropped the cannonball.
Deliberately.
Or maybe as a
to get back at the person who was tormenting them.
Who bit them.
Man bites dog.
And then dog bit man.
Yes. 3 people died of bleeding.
Again, you can kind of expect that if it's excessive.
Yeah, but is that also where they bled people, where they drilled a hole into their heads to relieve them of migraines and stuff, wasn't it? That was a...
But they seem to be missing out some sort of serious detail.
Oh, there's some definite, like, a lot of this is, like...
There's a lot of disclaimer. Well, he died by bleeding.
Yeah.
Eyes roll from side to side. No, don't know what you mean. Do not know what you mean.
Not the big pointy thing sticking out of his heart. 348 people died of bodily flux, scouring and flux.
Scouring?
I don't know.
God.
Yeah.
What was flux?
Bodily flux. I mean, flux is like, it's a state of... When you're in a state of flux, it's like between 2 states, isn't it?
Oh, right. Here we go. Right. Flux. An excessive flow or discharge of fluid like hemorrhage or diarrhea.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yum.
Don't know. That's not... Or, in other words, dysentery.
Okay.
But it only... I think... let's just...
348. 28 people died. Bruised issues, sores and ulcers. Issues. I like... he died of issues.
Bruised issues.
Bruised issues.
That has all sorts of
sores and ulcers.
Possibilities.
I mean,
again, just manky,
probably
isn't it? Really, you were just unclean.
Yeah, unclean people
putting yourself about.
5 people were burnt and scalded to death.
Yeah, well,
burns and scalds. Yeah,
not nice.
They get infected and
probably witchy types or Catholics.
9 people burst and rupture.
As in...
Yes. They just spontaneously burst. This is pre-spontaneous combustion.
Christ.
Yeah. Burst is a horrible thing to think about a person doing. Okay. 10 people died of cancer, and wolf.
Wolf. I need to know what this wolf business is.
Yeah, cancer and wolf. Maybe they were maybe hospitals doubled up as zoos, and they kept the wolf enclosure quite near to the oncology department. I don't know. What?
Well, it says, which I can't imagine. That's far too modern, surely.
What?
It says that it's a Hirschhorn syndrome. Wolff-Hirschhorn syndrome is a genetic disorder that affects many parts of the body. The major features include a characteristic facial appearance, delayed growth and development, intellectual disability, low muscle tone, and seizures.
I don't know.
So maybe wolf appertains to seizure or howling at the moon.
But then why would that be linked to cancer?
A double whammy. How unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know. Wolf disease is humans. No, don't know.
Oh, well. One person died of canker.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that is.
You haven't done your research very well, have you?
You told me not to.
But you could have at least found out what some of these things were. I'm doing it now, obviously.
Yeah. 171 died childbed. So
in a child's bed?
Cot death, probably, I would imagine.
Oh God, I don't want to think about things like that.
2,268 people, chrisms and infants.
But this is what they died of.
Yeah. The diseases and casualties of this year being 16.
Oh, right. Well,
there's casualties as well. Right.
Didn't read that properly, did
55 people died of cold and cough.
Okay, so
Not
COVID-19 then?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. 56 people colic, stone and strangury. 1,797 consumption.
Right.
200...
Well, consumption is also known as tuberculosis. Yeah. But then one of our kings died of an overconsumption of peaches.
Indeed.
Allegedly.
Which will lead into some of the ones that are later on.
It was all to do with the fact that at all of their banquets they used to have. I'd quite like to have gone to a medieval banquet. I don't know about you. Big spread, everything there.
Big spread.
Spread, everything there. Just vast quantities of stuff. Everything natural produce. Nothing pissed about with. All dug out of the royal gardens. And then gallons and gallons and flagons of ale and cider. And this was the problem. The problem was the combination of peaches and cider and the quantity of that led to the... I'm surprised you didn't burst, actually.
Yeah.
One big peachy mass.
Indeed. 56 people colic, stone and strangury. Oh no, I've done that already. Yes. 241 convulsion.
Right. Okay, well that's
died
choking,
convulsions. Isn't it? 6 people died of cut of the stone.
Yeah.
Again.
We didn't we check that out yesterday? Cut of the stone. To cut the stone.
Yeah, wasn't it? It's a surgical method for removing... lithotomy. Surgical method for removing of stones formed inside certain organs. So kidney, bladder stones, gallbladders. So maybe it's that.
Maybe.
But then, didn't we...
I'm sure it
think
said
it was
something
also
else.
something else, yeah. I don't know.
Definitely something else. Cut of the stone...
surgical removal of bladder stone.
Cut of the stone, death. Old disease names. History of stone disease. I will not cut for stone, even for the patients in whom the disease is manifest. Bleeding or infection. Jubbly.
Indeed. 6 people died dead in the street and starved.
That's just mean.
Only 6 though. There's probably more these days.
That's just mean.
Austerity.
Still mean.
Fucking Tories. 267 have died of dropsy and swelling.
This website here actually says frightened to death, probably a stress-induced heart attack or stroke. Ague, any intermittent fever characterised by periods of chills, fevers and sweats, commonly identified as malaria. I like this. Anyway. Ooh.
Maybe we should keep that page open then, so you can...
I got it.
Yeah? Alright. 34 people drowned. 18 people were executed and pressed to death. P-R-E-S-T. Pressed. 7 people got the falling sickness. Which I would imagine is, epilepsy. That was exactly the word I was looking for. 1,108 died from fever. 13 from fistula. What the hell is fistula?
An unnatural communication between 2 different body structures. What?
That's even more vague.
An unnatural communication between two different body structures. So is that like an argument between your arm and your leg?
Yeah.
Possibly. Maybe it's having conversations in the mind.
Fist and Uranus.
Really? Really? Did that need to happen?
Yes, it did.
Right, okay.
531 died of phlox and smallpox, which is quite nice because it rhymes.
Yep.
12 died from the French pox.
Which is syphilis.
Lovely.
Because, the French, we have a lot to thank them for.
5 died from gangrene.
Yep.
4 from gout.
Yep.
11 from grief.
Oh.
43 from jaundice. 8 from jawfalan.
Jawfaun. Literally a fallen jaw.
Oh.
Also referred to as a locked jaw.
Oh, right. Okay.
Possibly tetanus.
Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? 74 impostume. Whatever the hell that is.
Impostume.
They dressed up as someone else and tried to infiltrate a... Oh, right, okay. No,
an abscess.
Okay. It's not as good as dressing up as someone else and trying to inveigle.
And then getting stabbed to death on grounds
because they weren't
taking the
where
piss.
They were supposed to be. Yeah. That's impostume in my book.
Yes. Don't you impostume on me.
46 killed by several accidents. I mean,
that's just unlucky.
Several accidents. Well, this is like a cartoon character, like Homer Simpson. Yeah, Tom and Jerry kind of. There's an iron falling on their head, or like the burglars scratchy. From Home Alone.
You're right.
Paint tins to your head, nails through your foot.
Right. Yeah.
Tarred and feathered.
Or itchy and scratchy.
Yeah. 38. The King's Evil. I think we did look up, and it was
scrofula, tuberculosis of neck and lymph glands.
Yes. It was commonly thought that the touch of royalty could cure it. So if you had, the king lay his hand, although why it's called the King's Evil, then I don't really know. But anyway. Again, one of the kings died from it. Maybe
a little bit hypocritical.
2 died from lethargy, which is the way I'm going. Surely.
It is, yes. I would say so.
87 from liver grown.
Liver grown, possibly rickets.
Oh, right. So
bills or mortality showing many deaths from rickets showed few or none liver grown. Oh, it says possibly rickets, and then it just then goes to say that it's possibly not, which is quite strange.
It could be this, or it could not be.
Yeah.
Could be something else completely.
Yeah.
Not like a swollen liver then, because of all the crap that you're eating and drinking.
No.
No?
No.
Okay then. 5 died from lunatique, which I would imagine is...
Lunatique? Yes, it's all to do with insanity.
Going insane, yeah. 15 made away themselves, which, is a euphemism.
It's just really... megrim, while we're here, is a severe headache, often limited to one side of the head.
Oh, we're back to apoplex and megrim, are we?
Yeah, just because it's on my list.
Okay, cool. Made away themselves. I prefer that term to suicide, I think. Or he made away himself. He made away in the middle of the night.
Oh, stop it.
80 by measles.
Yeah.
7 murthered. Is that laughed to death? 7 people laughed to death.
Murthered doesn't appear to be on my list.
Well, let's have a look then. Murthered.
But I do have milk leg.
Oh, archaic spelling of murder. So, not laughed to death, murdered. Only 7 people.
That's pretty not
However,
bad, is it?
quite a few of these burnt and scalded, pressed to death. Like...
Anyway.
Having a cannonball.
Yeah.
7 overlaid and starved at nurse.
Okay, well...
Overlaid, would that be like a birth
Sleeping
thing? Well, yeah, obviously that's how...
I think overlay was delay in birth, so they were possibly... it was a difficult birth, maybe.
Oh, no, it's not. Overlaying or overlying is the act of accidentally smothering a child to death by rolling over onto them. And starved at nurse means that they weren't being given
Any food.
That's horrific.
That's really sad.
7.
Yeah, I don't like that. Can we move on?
25 from palsy.
Yeah.
1 from piles.
Splendid.
1 person died of piles.
Yeah, that's...
How bad were those piles?
So bad they couldn't sit down.
No, and that's why they died. 13, planet.
Planet struck. Any sudden severe affliction or paralysis.
Really? So not having an actual planet fall onto their head.
Well, no, because otherwise, as Newton discovered to his cost, when the cannonball fell on his mate's head, and he was then struck by the apple, the planets could hang up in the sky. They could stay there.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's all good. So no.
36 died of pleurisy and spleen.
Yeah.
Which you can kind of, figure out for yourself.
Yeah.
38 purples and spotted feather. Fever, sorry, F-E-A-V-E-R.
Infection after giving birth to an infant. Probably it's like a staphylococcus infection.
So not anything to do with Prince then?
No. Purples itself is a rash due to spontaneous bleeding to the skin. It may be a symptom of severe illnesses, including bacterial endocarditis, endocarditis, and cerebrospinal meningitis.
Lovely.
Yeah. Puking fever. Potter's asthma, which was a thing. Well, this is quite interesting. Potter's fever Potter's asthma. Sorry, is tuberculosis. I did an A-level in ceramics, and I think most schools have actually done away with their ceramics courses because of the dust, the clay dust. So Potter's asthma makes perfect sense because there were chemicals in the clay, in the dried clay, that could cause lung disease.
Okay.
So we had to be, it's like sort of, artistically exposing yourself to asbestos in a way.
Yeah, similar. There you are.
But I'm fine.
You're all right.
Yeah.
Good. Because you didn't continue with it.
What do you mean? I got my A-level in ceramics.
Well, yeah. But you didn't continue to become a potter, so you haven't exposed yourself to the dangers.
No.
Yeah.
It was never a career choice.
No. 7 people died of quinsy.
Yeah.
Which I'm not entirely sure.
That's okay. Let me consult my quinsy. An acute inflammation of the tonsils, often leading to an abscess. It's just a lot of mouth mank, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, people didn't brush their teeth, I suppose. The toothbrush wasn't invented for a few hundred years after this.
Gross. Totally
nasty
gross.
Shit. 98 people died of rising of the lights.
Rising of the lights.
Now, this is something to do with lungs, isn't it?
Generally considered to be croup. However, the Oxford English Dictionary defines it as hysteria.
Oh, right.
And this John Graunt was up there when talking about rickets, suggests that it was possibly an inflammation of the liver, similar to liver grown.
Right.
Rickets. This man's obsessed.
I don't trust him as far as I could throw him.
Basically obsessed with rickets, isn't he?
Yeah. I think he's bullshit.
From what I've
read, the lights
rickets.
are something to do with the lungs, so it's a respiratory
You've got rickets.
thing. Yeah, I know, I've got rickets.
You got rickets.
Yeah.
That's just what he spent
Shut up,
most of
John Graunt.
You'll be sorry when you realise you got rickets.
I don't have rickets. Fuck off, John. Yeah, from what I read into this, the rising of the lights is something to do with like the lungs, and it's to do with respiratory stuff.
Anyway.
Oh, okay. 1 from sciatica, 9 from scurvy and itch, which again, just have a watch.
Comes hand in hand though, doesn't it?
62 people died suddenly. Which again is so vague as to mean like it's
unexplained. It's an unexplained death, isn't it?
This person just died suddenly from a gunshot. This person died suddenly when they were hit by a train. This person died suddenly when they were trampled to death by a herd of horses.
This person died suddenly when his face accidentally connected with my fist.
Yes, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think the mortician was being paid off there. 86 people died of surfeit.
Surfeit, vomiting from overeating or gluttony.
Lovely. Well, that's a rich person way to die, isn't it?
Yeah.
6 people died of swine pox.
Not on my list, but I think we know that that's piggy pox, isn't it?
Piggy pox. 470 people, teeth.
Death of an infant when teething.
No.
Children appear to have been more susceptible to infection during this time, although malnutrition from being fed watered milk has also been suggested as a cause.
That's horrible. I thought it was just those little wind-up teeth that the Joker uses.
No.
To chase people around.
Sorry about that.
No, that's sad. 40 people died of thrush and sore mouth.
Together.
Is that to do with French pox as well?
A disease characterised by whitish spots and ulcers on the membranes of the mouth, blah, blah, blah. Thrush usually affects sick, weak infants and elderly individuals in poor health.
Again, coronavirus.
Ghastly.
13 died from tympany, which I thought was a drum.
A swelling or tumour.
Okay, not quite as funny as drum. Though.
No, spelled differently.
Yeah, I know that. 34 died of Tissic. T-I-S-S.
Just a cough.
Very well acted, well done. Congratulations, you win the Oscar. 1 from vomiting, even though we figured that Surfeit was vomiting, but maybe this is obviously not due to overeating.
No.
This is just vomiting.
Yes, basically.
1 person. And 27 people died from worms.
Yikes. Worms, convulsions associated with teething, worms, elevated temperature, or poo. Diarrhea.
So
runny poo.
Not what...
Sorry.
So not what we would consider the little parasites in your...
No.
Yuck. Well, there you go. So, lots more nasty shit that you could die for from, especially back in the 1600s. It's quite nice that we've managed to kind of progress as through medicine and stuff to the point where we can control most of those things on that list now, and which is why there's really not too much.
Although, rickets is still...
Will you fuck off, John Grunt?
Grunt? My name's Grant.
I don't care.
Grunt. Ignoramus.
Shall we leave the sickness behind?
Let's leave the sickness behind because, I have a list.
Yes.
I have a list. I'm not, unlike you, going to go through every single one on the list, otherwise we'll be here all day.
Another 40 minutes.
But this list is great because it was generated, worryingly, 150 years ago. These things, 150 years ago, were reasons for admission to a lunatic asylum.
Excellent.
That husbands could pin on their wives. Now, okay, we're not married.
No.
But what if this list?
Don't trap
still,
me.
I'm just saying. Just wait a minute. This list was applicable today.
Yeah.
What reason would you give for having me sectioned? I mean, I can probably say unnecessary noises would be one. Well, you jest. You need to see some of the things on this list, right? Yeah. First of all, intemperance and business trouble. Let me just read a few, and then you can decide which one you'd like to talk about.
Oh, brilliant! Okay.
Kicked in the head by a horse. Ill treatment by husband. Imaginary female trouble. Is this sort of edging in towards the gender sort of
maybe
switch over? Hysteria, immoral life. Yeah. Jealousy and religion. Laziness. Marriage of son.
That's not good.
That's just ridiculous. Masturbation for 30 years. Impressive.
Like constantly masturbating for 30 years.
I
might have had a problem with it after a couple of hours, maybe.
It gives no details.
Like, what are you up to?
Shh. I'm concentrating.
The listeners can't see what I'm seeing right now.
Probably just as well.
Yes.
I mean, that's medal worthy, isn't it?
I mean, yeah. It's an achievement.
If someone twats themselves off for 30 years, I mean, well done. You're not sort of like, I'm not going to certify you, I'm actually going to congratulate you on that. Bloody hell. Novel reading.
Yeah, well, I mean, you shouldn't be reading.
No, I mean, that's something that...
You're mad.
That's something that is a reason for novel reading books. That's me. Done.
Yeah.
An opium habit. Overstudy of religion.
Right.
Overtaxing mental powers.
See, that would be my reason of getting rid of you, I suppose. That overtaxing mental powers.
Are they overtaxing?
They are for my small brain, yes.
Oh, okay. A reason for admission for a woman is if her parents were cousins.
Okay, so that's her fault.
That's Queen Victoria. Her children.
Well, it's most of the royals.
It's her children,
yeah.
Really, all of them. And this is the period in which they should have been sectioned.
But they're royal, you see. God put them there, so they can't be mental, can they?
You know.
Good reply.
Yeah. Tobacco and masturbation.
Both at the same time.
Well, if you're able to sort of blow smoke rings out.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm not going to finish.
That's a specialist set of videos. That.
Something that I find altogether impossible is political excitement. Religious enthusiasm.
Right.
Yes. Fits and desertion of husband. Now that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Fits and desertion of husband.
Yeah.
Does this mean that?
So you're gonna fuck off, and then he's gonna go, oh, by the way, lock her up.
She's mental. She's left me. Although lock her away.
He's left her. Another one that I would be certified for is asthma. And bad company.
The band Bad Company.
Just, well, take it as you wish.
Being a groupie of the band Bad Company.
Domestic trouble. Egotism. Excessive sexual abuse.
Okay.
Again, take that as you will. Excitement as officer.
What?
Exposure in the army. Fever and jealousy.
Exposure in the army?
Yeah.
Well, she's gone into a barracks and got a BAPS out.
Yes. Imagine that. Hello, boys.
Hello, boys.
Now, surely, what... Oh, goodness me. The British Army bored at the time, and we're just sitting around waiting for a war to happen. Come on, let's have... When does the Boer War kick off? Does anyone know? Bloody hell. And then this. Oh,
send her
Doris.
to an asylum.
Hello, Doris.
Doris.
Oh, out they come. Fighting fire. And here, and this is the problem, and this is where this is a little bit kind of giving with one hand but taking with the other. Suppressed masturbation.
Oh right, okay. So if you masturbate too much or too little,
no,
there's got to be a sweet spot
suppressing
somewhere between nothing and 30 years worth.
Yes. Another thing to get someone admitted is the war.
The war.
Yep.
Ah, yes, she's gone mad because of the war. Whichever war this was.
This is obviously some sort of, I don't know, sympathetic shell shock, perhaps.
Maybe.
Time of life.
Does that mean...
It's time of life. Off you go.
You've reached the end of your...
Reached the point at which it's time for you to be locked up, you insane old bag.
Insane masturbating old bag.
Novel reading asthmatic lunatic. Bloody hell. Yes. Religious loving egotistic. Yes. Uterine derangement.
Wow. So that's like not having a working plumbing job, right?
Possibly.
She can't have children. She must be mad.
Yeah.
Intern her.
Yes, there we go. Superstition. Shooting of daughter.
Okay. Well, I think that's probably grounds to lock people up in prison, isn't it?
Yeah. Another one. I'm going to save my favourite until last. But I'm going to go with gunshot wound.
Yeah.
Hard study.
Stop trying to improve yourself. You are a woman. Get in the kitchen.
Yeah. Self-abuse. Sexual derangement. And then again...
Sexual derangement is another good metal band name.
You can be locked away for hard study, but equally you can be locked away for feebleness of intellect.
Okay.
And just if you think back to the beginning, we had kicked in the head by a horse.
Yes.
But also fell from horse in war.
In war?
Yeah.
Women weren't allowed in war.
Well. Obviously something that she made up.
Yeah.
Female disease.
Well.
Female disease. Whatever that is.
She's got the female disease, I'm afraid. She's quite mad.
Yes. And my favourite by a fair... no, two favourites, actually. Gathering in the head.
What does that even mean?
And snuff eating for 2 years.
Snuff eating? Well, I mean...
No! It was only 18 months! No!
You can't lock me up. It's not been 2 years.
Bloody snuff. Have you ever smelt snuff?
No.
Imagine... Well, I have. It is
Pungent.
outrageously strong.
Yeah.
Imagine doing that for 2 years.
I knew some medical students who got well into chewing snuff. Is it chewing or do you snort it? You snort it, don't you?
It's a powder. We once upon a time had, as we did back then, had all the joys of sorting and helping my parents out with a jumble sale.
Hurrah.
And we're going through this ton of stuff. My dad had borrowed the work van, and he had all of these bags of jumble in the back of it, and taken it down to this club where the sale was going to be. My sister and I are rummaging through, and we come across this little, it'd probably be worth stuff. This tiny little metal box. And we went, oh, what's in here? We opened it, and we saw all this brown powder in there. And being children, we went,
yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Bam! This whiff.
My great nan used to have smelling salts, and I used to try and see how long I could inhale those for.
It was like amyl nitrate.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Start clubbing after that. Yeah. But good God.
Yeah.
Yes. So yes.
Well, essentially, it seems like women could have been locked up for any kind of
any excuse the man could find.
He's like, oh,
really.
she's been studying religion too hard, but also not being very religious at all, and being sexually deviant,
intellectually feeble.
Yeah, but also reading too many books.
Yes.
I just don't like her. Send her away.
That wasn't even an option.
No.
Just
but they're all basic
dislike.
She's got woman's disease. She's a
got
bloody
gathering
woman
in the head. Yes, her parents are cousins. That's perfectly fine. So yes, there we go. Oh to be back in the 1600s or indeed the 1800s.
True.
I guess.
Yeah.
And no mention of the C word.
No, not in this bit anyway.
No.
But
which is great.
Yeah, it just shows you, chill out, wash your hands, don't hang around with people.
No, we're fine.
It'll be okay.
Yeah, it will.
Lock your old people up, despite what they say, because we know how difficult it is to corral old people. And yeah, just stay safe, I guess.
I would say.
We'll see what happens in the next 2 weeks. I mean, hopefully Ant will be better. I'm not saying that he's got... he said that it's not that.
He hasn't got the COVID.
No. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
He might have COVID 8.5.
Who knows? Maybe some of us will have been. Maybe we'll be in isolation. We'll have to do it over Skype or something.
Oof.
Who knows? Oof.
Exciting and scary times ahead, I think.
Yes.
I can't help being excited by this purely because of how much time I could be having off school, which is great. But equally, it's quite scary because of how it's been made to seem scary.
Yeah, I think a lot of it does come down to the coverage it's got. But also people being asked to work to stay at home who don't have jobs where they can work from home. They're the people that are gonna find it tough. Yeah, because they won't be getting paid. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird time we're in right now.
Yes. But
hopefully, we'll like I say, we'll just see what happens in 2 weeks' time. It's the guessing game. In the meantime, couple of films to watch while you're self-isolating. Contagion, Outbreak, 12 Monkeys.
A Quiet Place, if you're into that sort of weirdness.
Right, yeah. Although that's not really virusy,
it's still about self-isolation.
True, yeah. Good point.
Thank you.
So yes, until next time, take care of each other. And
don't hug each other.
No.
Because you're not allowed.
No. In fact, don't make any contact at all.
No.
Just tell people to stay the fuck away. It's just easier that way. It's an interesting way to end it, isn't it?
Indeed.
So until next time, I've been Tom.
Hello, Tom.
That's been Joe. See you later. Bye.
Bye.